Well, you're done, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Mm, mm,
Hmm. After this, we're going to do definite integration because integration itself. Okay, no fun. I'll just give you a sneak peek of what we did yesterday while parts are doing the question. So, Nofal, we started off integration yesterday. Not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And we already know, Nofal, that it's the reverse process of differentiation. It is
Yeah.
essentially how you take your antiderivative. Clear?
Yes.
And you are going to do this like, curly sign and y dx. And what does that mean? That you're taking integration of y with respect to change in x because y is obviously written in terms of x. Clear?
Yes.
All right. Then what we did was that we simply, figured out what it meant. Then we did how many types of integration exists. Obviously, integration is definite and indefinite. Definite integration is with the limits. It's without c,
Yeah.
with no constant of integration. Indefinite is without the limits with c, and c is what? It's the constant of integration. And where did that come from? Because when we take derivative, we do not take the derivative of the constant term. So when we integrate a derived equation, that means we're trying to go back to the original function it had. That is why we introduce c by ourselves.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
All right. And then we did a few derivatives and antiderivatives. Like, for example, if derivative of this, what will be the antiderivative? Like, for example, power to the front and n minus 1 from the power. So now what you're going to do is divide by the power. And what is the power? N plus 1 because you were doing n minus 1 before. Clear, Nufal?
Yes. Clear.
Similarly, everything else is the same. If there's a constant term, it just carries along forward. Derivative of ax is equal to a. Derivative of a alone, a constant term, is x. Then, if two functions are derived, you do their derivations individually and then add them. Similarly, you do their integration individually and add them. And for example, if an entire function has a power, like a whole power exists on a function, what is going to happen is that your function is raised to a power and you divide by the new power. And also you divide by the derivative of the new function, of the inner function. All right.
Yes.
And that is an example of what we did. And if you want to know how to do it on your calculator, you can just press this button on your calculator. It will give you this. Clear?
Yes. Clear.
okay, Michelle, I'm done.
Well done. All right. Nopal, what's the answer to the first one?
Y is equals to 3x minus x square minus
Hmm.
4 over x plus 9.
Okay, well done.
Over
Minus 4. Sorry,
what?
sorry. Could you repeat that?
3x minus x square minus 4 over x plus 9.
3x minus x squared minus 4 over x squared or x cubed?
Only x.
Only x. Plus
9.
plus 9. Okay. Hmm. Partha, are you getting the same answer?
So I got Mister, I got 3x minus x squared minus 4 over x, and I forgot to add the plus c.
Oh, that means you did. Oh, okay. That's not an issue. But don't forget that is
Mm.
an issue if you're doing the question because then you'll get it wrong. Otherwise, you integrated it successfully. That is the better part. Okay, what about part function? What you may call question number 2, the second part.
I have to redo that one. I have to redo
Why?
this one as well. I forgot the plus c. I keep forgetting it.
It's all right. Novel, tell us your answer.
My final function was x cubed minus 6x squared plus 20x minus 13.
Well done, Nofal. Tasha, I'll post the answers on Google Classroom as well. And yes, Nofal, the last one.
The last one is just showing, so it's just working, no?
Yeah, that one was easy.
Yeah, that's you just need to show.
So we just expand.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Now let's do definite integration. Now, definite integration is very simply what you may call integration with limits. Now, what are limits? Let's see. For example, let's just say that you're integrating a function. If you integrate a derivative, that brings you back to the original function. So, for example, if I say that f of x, I'm integrating it. I could never draw the integral sign successfully. This looks like integration. Okay. If I integrate the derivative of f of x, this symbol shows that I'm integrating the derivative of f of x. What will it show? It will give me f of x, right? Is this clear, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But if the same thing I do with limits, what is that going to do? You're going to have a limit over here, limit over here. That is not going to give you the function directly. Rather, it is going to give you, you're going to draw some sort of a modulus sign, like an absolute value sign, and you're going to have your limits. And what is that going to achieve? That is going to lead to that you're going to calculate the answer for when f of a exists and subtract it from when f of b exists. And that will give you the answer. Is this clear, guys? Do you understand what just happened?
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Your function with limits, you're just going to put in after integration. First, remember this. You have integrated it successfully. Now the equation that you have is an integrated version of your equation. Clear? So what you're going to do after you have integrated it successfully, you're simply going to put in your limits and you're going to subtract the upper limit from the lower limit. Clear?
yeah,
So you're going to have a is the upper limit and b is the lower limit. Is this clear, guys?
yeah,
Okay. This will this will be better understandable with the question. Mhm. Okay, I believe you guys did this question in the previous part as well. That is why I'm going to give you this question again. What was the integration of this part, guys? Wait, I'm sharing my screen with you. There was some sort of integration. Now you're going to solve it for, like, why won't it write? Let me zoom in a bit deeply, guys. So it is going to have what you may call, just give me a moment. All right. So now what's going to happen is you're going to have limits in place. Limits in place how? That you're going to have the upper limit as 5 and the lower limit as what you may call 3. Can you guys solve this and let me know what's the answer? You must have already calculated its integration above. Now you just need to simply do what? That for this question, I am very simply going to. What was the integration, guys?
It's 9 minus 12x plus 4x squared.
Now, usually I would have added a plus
We
3
just
over.
do f of 5 minus f of 3.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes. Simply. So now what you're going to do is that I'm going to place this in this sort of a box. And I'm going to state that the upper limit is 5, lower limit is 3, and this is going to be written as, this is going to be written down here as what? 9 minus 12 plus 4 times 5 whole squared.
Yeah, but Mr. Don't we have to... Mr. Don't you multiply the 12 by 5 as well because it's 12x?
Is it 12x?
Yeah.
Oh, apologies. I did not write it. So
Yeah, but Mr. Don't you also have to integrate that function to get...
it is already integrated. You had to integrate this guy. And the integration of this, isn't it this? You guys tell me. This is the previous part of the question.
That is that no, because like Mr. Is that f of x or is that f prime of x?
This is f prime. This is f of x. You integrated this guy to give you this guy. Clear?
Yeah.
All right. Now you're simply going to subtract it from 9 minus 12 times 3 plus 4 times 3 whole squared, which gives you what, guys? Can you calculate it and let me know?
Um.
Yes. Come on. It's supposed to be like 100 plus minus 60, 49. Is this bracket coming up to be 49 minus this guy, whatever this coming as? So this is going to come as 4 times 9 is 20, 36.
um,
36 minus 36, 9. Minus 9.
No, it will be only 9, no?
Yeah, yeah. Only 9.
So 40.
The answer is 40. Clear, guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
The
there
final
any
answer is
further?
40.
Yeah. It is so simple. It is unbelievably simple, to be honest. Also, this, I hope this 5 and 3 are visible. I wrote them down very small. Is this clear? Now, where is this application most used? This application of definite integration is very much used when you've got graphs. And in a graph, like for example, like this, there's a graph. Obviously, they're going to say calculate area of, let's just say, this region. So they're going to give you limits, and you're going to use integration to calculate the area of that limits. And that is going to give you a specific answer instead of giving you a specific function. Clear, guys? And that is obviously going to further translate into volume of revolution, and area under the graph as well. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Any issues with this, guy? Yes.
No.
Nofal, is this clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
All right. So we're going to leave it till here for today. Parsa, I want you to do these questions, okay? But don't forget C.
So I did them.
All right, with C.
Yes.
Okay, very well done. And this time, remember, you guys, I purposely omitted out C. When it was without limits, we didn't have C. When it was with limits, we did have what you may call, we didn't have anything. Clear? Any
Yeah.
issues with this, guys?
No.
All right, we're going to end a bit early today. And in our next class, we'll begin. I just need I think I just need 2 more classes and I'll be done. I'm taking this a bit more slowly because it's integration. I don't want to rush. All right. Happy Ramadan, boys.
Thank you, sir.
Let me put a bearded guy over here.
Mr. Sheikh, Mr.
Yeah, Parsa, wait. Let me put the sheikh here. Oh no, the sheikh got his chin cut. Wait. Yeah. Happy Ramadan, boys.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Yes,
Same.
sir.
All right. Allah Hafiz.
Allah
Man.
Hafiz.
Take care.
Bye.